In the kitchen now with Chef Ken Hall of the River Room at the Clarion. Good morning. Good to see you. And they are one of the restaurants participating in Restaurant Week. I think this is such a cool idea. I know they have done this in a lot of the big cities. They've been doing it for a while, but I think this is the first time we've done it here in Green Bay.
It is. This is our inaugural year doing it, which I think is fantastic.
It is. It's a great opportunity to try some of those restaurants that you've always wanted to try, but you were, maybe been a little bit over your budget. So now you can actually get in there at a great price. I know at your restaurant you're doing $10 lunches,
right,
and they're all 3-course meals.
Right.
Your choice of either a $20 3-course meal for dinner or $30. So it depends what you want and what you're interested in. So,
exactly.
And it kicks off tomorrow, right?
Kicks off tomorrow for lunch. So we
cool.
open at 11 o'clock tomorrow for lunch. So we'll be waiting for everybody to show up. We've got lots of really good food. We're doing onion strings. We're doing crab dip with grilled pitas. We're doing the macadamia nut crusted chicken, which is on one of our dinner menus. We're doing steak and shrimp skewers, crab cake, shrimp cocktail, adult tater tots.
Oh, I like tater tots. I'd like adult ones, and desserts too. So we'll talk more about that in just a minute. But this is one of the dinner menu items, correct?
Correct.
Okay, macadamia nut crusted chicken, and it's something you could do at home too. So first, pick yourself up some macadamia nuts, right?
Right, and these are real easy to chop. So when you do, usually I just do it like you would garlic.
Okay, just don't really use.
Yeah, you don't need to pound them. Just kind of press down.
That's a good tip.
And just try and do one at a time so they don't slide out.
I love macadamia nuts. Yum.
And then these you just, real quickly chop up. Now, if you have one like my mom used to have, the jar with the little nut cracker on top, perfect for doing this.
Okay.
Perfect for doing this.
Okay, so those are all chopped and done.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken breast and we're going to season it real lightly with a little bit of kosher salt.
And it looks like you pounded those just a little bit.
Right, because I don't want it real thick on the one end and skinny on the other end, because then the nuts will burn when they get into the pan.
Okay.
So we're going to go just real lightly into the flour and kind of knock the flour off. And then a little melted butter. And just kind of drip that off a little bit.
Okay.
And we're going to spread these out, and we're going to go right into the macadamia nuts. Now, if you want it a little less nutty, you can put in some breadcrumbs into this mix.
Okay. Little oil in here? Olive oil? Okay.
And we're just going to set that right in there and let that start to cook.
All right. I can get you a fresh cutting board here.
All right.
All right, now we're going to make the mango salsa that's going to go on top of it, which is
right, and
really
the mango
summery.
salsa, oh yeah, and mangoes right now are really, really nice. They're nice and ripe. You want to look for one that has good color and has a little give, but not too much. You want to have just that little bit of give. You don't want it real mushy, because then they'll be black. Okay. The trick with peeling these is you want to cut the one end off and cut the top off. That way you can see where the seed is. And then all I do is I peel it this way and just follow the contour of the fruit itself. Looks like we got lucky, and this is a nice ripe one. Perfect. You can kind of tell by the orange color on there.
Smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Has that nice little citrus aftertaste to it.
Checking our chicken here. What are we looking for? I know.
We just wanted to get a nice light golden brown, and that's one of the reasons that I went ahead and pounded it a little flatter, so that it cooks a little bit quicker. Okay. So now we're just going to follow the contour of the mango. Because
they really have a big pit in the in the center, so.
Right. And then you keep it flat, because they do get a little slippery. Okay. And then we'll just set the core off.
You make that look so easy.
And then we're just going to do a small dice on this. I
do have to say that jarred mango is a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. And you can find it a lot. It's all year round, so sometimes mangoes aren't in season. And it's actually very good. It's usually refrigerated.
It frozen too.
Really? Okay, so there's a way to kind of
because a lot of people use that for smoothies.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
We're going to take this just real quickly, dice it down, put this in a bowl, and then to this we want to add a little bit of fresh cilantro. Okay. Which we'll go ahead and chop that in half a sec. Okay, so we'll get just maybe a couple of tablespoons of fresh cilantro.
Okay.
And the trick with cilantro is you don't want to over chop it because then it'll start to turn black on you or release too much oil and get a little bitter. For that, we're going to roll our lime a little bit to kind of loosen up that juice. And I like to cut them in quarters. When I squeeze the lime in there, you seem to get more juice out because then you can bend it back a little bit.
That's a good tip.
So we're going to do half of our lime. Now we're going to take a little bit of red pepper.
Give us a nice color.
Nice color.
Now, when you're making the salsa, do you usually make it a little bit ahead of time?
On the mango, I won't go more than like the morning of kind of thing.
Got it.
Because then it loses some of that freshness to it. Then we're going to take, again, like you were saying with the scallion, I like a little onion in there, but not too much. So we'll just do this on a quick bias. We'll throw our scallion in there. Then ginger, and I wanted to just leave this end on to kind of show you all these little hairs. So it's kind of like a celery stem.
Right.
So what you want to do is you always want to cut across those. So we're going to just cut this real thin. Does not take much with the fresh ginger, but it adds such a refreshing flavor. And we're just going to turn this, mince this real quick.
Oh, does that smell good?
So we've got a little of the mango, the pepper, the cilantro, little fresh ginger in there, some lime juice. Now what I want to do to give it just a little bit of juice to it is just a little splash of rice wine vinegar.
Okay.
That helps to kind of blend the flavors together, and then just a pinch of brown sugar. And as the brown sugar melts with that rice wine vinegar, it creates a sauce.
Kind of like when you put sugar with strawberries. That type of
Exactly,
thing?
the same type of thing. And then we'll just kind of mix this together.
It's so gorgeous, and it's just something different, and it's something that you can do at home, but it seems like it's restaurant fancy. So.
And you can do this with any kind of fruit. Kiwis and melon and watermelon and, kind of whatever you want as far as that goes. You can really pick and choose your fruit.
That is gorgeous. Our chicken breast looks beautiful here.
And then to serve this, what I want to do is I've got a little bit of steamed basmati rice.
And that's is that what you're serving?
Yep, we're serving this with the basmati rice and then seasonal veg. And asparagus is still being picked. It's almost done for the year. So we're going to put a little bit of that on there.
To lay our chicken breast?
Yep, and then we'll lay our chicken breast right on top. And then we'll top it with a little bit of the salsa. And there you have it. There's our macadamia nut crusted chicken breast with mango salsa.
Wow, unbelievable. And this is just one of the dishes that you can get at Restaurant Week, which kicks off tomorrow at the River Room at the Clarion. Call for reservations. That's always a good idea, right?
Always a good idea.
All right. Lunch or dinner at some really good prices. $10 lunches, $20 or $30 three-course dinners. It's up to you what menu you decide to go with. So
absolutely.
Ken's going to stick around. We're talking about road trip, and he's just about to go on a road trip with his son, taking his son to camp. And what does he eat along the way? He made these great cereal bars, kind of like homemade granola bars, and we'll show you how you can make them too. So stay with us. We'll be back.